So we got a lot of stuff going on today. Place is still looks like a war zone here. Saws, buckets, buffers, sanders, all this stuff. Paint, you name it. This came today, the bad boy. I don't know if you can see it too well. Maverick HD. Got a lot of grass to cut. This came highly recommended. Saw nothing but really good reviews for this machine. And so probably this evening I'm going to get out and start mowing some of this lawn. I'm really exhausted. I was up way too late last night working, but yeah, this is a nice machine. I actually ran it a little bit today, and it is a really nice machine. And if you have acreage to cut, this is definitely the way to go. This is a commercial unit, but rides beautifully, really smooth, really responsive, just a really nice machine. So yeah, when I bring it out later on, you know, in the near future, I'll do some filming of it and a review. But yeah, it's a really beast of a machine. So should definitely get the job done. And yeah, it's just one thing after another here. So it just goes on and on and on. But this grass is getting out of control. It's bugging me. So I got to start mowing it maybe this evening. Start getting going with this. Live from Bama. Stay tuned to the rest of this video. It's Friday, October 17th, 2025. Thanks for tuning in today. Beautiful day. Just sitting out here with Turbo. Just put Nugget up. She's taking a little power nap. A little bit of news to talk about today. Talk about the big pullback in metals and why it's probably a great day to get off the fence and buy some of this stuff. Nestle to cut 16,000 jobs as part of cost savings initiative. This is the world's largest packaged food company. Layoffs will take place over the next 2 years. And all I can say is, wow, that is a lot of people. And if you think things are getting better, you're delusional. Things continue to get worse. I mean, 16,000 people, boom, like that over the next 2 years. CNBC, the tide went out. How a string of bad loans has bank investors hunting for hidden risk. There's a lot of risk out there when we look at the regional banks and the markets today completely ignoring the danger out there. Dow Jones up 238, NASDAQ up 117. Gold and silver, hammer today. Gold down $82 as I make this video. Silver down 235. Wall Street's not worried. This to me is a beautiful opportunity. If you're thinking about getting some gold or silver or adding a little bit more to your reserves, this is a nice, healthy pullback. And I bet you the bullion dealers were so busy today with people buying metals, because I know a lot of people were just waiting for a pullback. Well, they got the pullback today, and I think a lot of people bought the dip. And when you, when you read articles like Nestle laying off 16,000 people, and even more dangerous are these regional banks, which are ticking time bombs. Hey, Big Turbo. We lose a bank like Zion, good luck. You're going to see gold and silver absolutely explode. The hedge today, if you don't buy, you'll miss out. Weimer vibes as Aussies line up to buy physical gold. I was watching the video of this. Hundreds of people lined up at a bullion dealer or some type of gold, precious metals store. Hundreds of people lined up. Pictures and videos of this. ABC Bullion continue to lengthen. I guess that was the bullion dealership, ABC Bullion. The lines outside of their store just went on forever. Buyers have been flooding into London street level bullion outlets also, it says. But going back to ABC Bullion in Australia, that line was like a block long. There was a couple hundred people at least in line. One person in line said, if the dollar crashes like the globalists want, You could see gold go to $100,000 an ounce, and he says this could happen within 5 years. Just a person in line buying some gold. He says, I wouldn't trust banks as far as I could piss on them. There you have it. That's what people think of banks. And you're seeing now more and more people waking up to the idea of why you better own precious metals. I don't sit here and give financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't get paid to be a financial advisor. I'm a guy with a camera and a microphone, and I'm sharing with you what I'm doing, what I've been doing for the since 2013, last 12 years. I've been making videos for 8 years, 9 years, and I've been talking about this daily, and things are now coming to fruition. And here we are. And again, we had a nice pullback today. Maybe people will think, hey, this is just a bubble. It's going to pop everything. Metal prices are going to go way back down. Good luck with that, because all we hear now is to talk about war, recession, depression, debt, regional banks, and inflation. Of course, also de-dollarization. Excuse me. And the more we hear about this, the more reason you have to be protecting yourself. Subprime lender, Primalend, unpaid creditors eye bankruptcy. Holders of the company's $75 million bond, which is due in 2028, are working with lawyers from White and Case on the situation right now. So here we go again, another one of these subprime auto dealers or auto lenders in very, very big trouble, and they're more likely going to go bankrupt. And it tells you that a lot of people out there are driving cars that they cannot afford to be driving. How many people in this country are living way beyond their means? How many people in this country now are having a tough time just keeping up with their car payments? And we'll talk a little bit more about that, because an article came out about auto payments now, and it is shocking. Here it is right here. I'm just going to pull it up. Auto loan delinquency surged 50% as cracks deepen across U.S. credit markets. Consumers are in a more precarious position than they've been since the last recession. It's worse now than the last recession, yet we can't even admit that we've been in a recession for at least 2 years plus. And the beginning phases of a Great Depression, the Greatest Depression. More and more consumers are struggling to make ends meet, ladies and gentlemen, and this trend is going to continue. You tell me where the light is at the end of the tunnel. AI is going to replace millions of jobs. BRICS is going to go to a new world reserve currency called gold. Inflation skyrocketing. We have a job crisis taking place. We have a retail apocalypse taking place. We have a housing crisis taking place. All this stuff every day. It just goes on and on and on. It just continues. And yet there are people out there that think that this is normal and everything is okay because the stock market was up today. These people are ignorant. Average loan balance on an automobile has risen 57% since 2010. Prices have jumped 25% since 2019. This is unsustainable. Who can do this? You look at new car sales this year, close to 20% of car sales in 2020, people have a car payment of $1,000 plus. Phooey. He's out of control. Unsustainable. And a lot of people have themselves to blame for this, because the repo man's coming for you. The repo man's looking for your car right now, and he will get it. He is going to get it. And, we hear that, oh, profits with this auto company, profits with that auto company. Do you believe any of this? When you see that almost 3 million cars were repossessed last year, and who knows what the number is this year, it seems to be much, much worse. How in the world can anybody say that the auto industry is doing well when people can't even pay for their cars? And you have loan delinquencies up 50%. We have a crisis on our hands. Things are breaking loose, and it's going to get worse. The hedge today, they don't use things, they use a different word. We'll just say crap. Crap is breaking, and it's going to get worse. Bailouts are coming. but not before crap gets worse. Regional banks are on borrowed time, ladies and gentlemen. We've known this for a couple years. When the fiat system breaks, or the stock market, or the economy, there's going to be a blow-off valve. That blow-off valve appears to be the metals right now because we're watching what metals are doing. Yes, today we had a pullback, but look at what has been going on all year. And this is totally normal. We needed a nice little pullback. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing goes up in a straight line. This is an opportunity. And there is no doubt the central banks, all the paper that was flooded into the gold and silver market was all purposely done to push prices down so that the central banks could back up the trucks and buy as much of the stuff they could as cheap as they could. And most people ignored it. Most people said, oh, barbarous relic, it's a pet rock, you don't want this stuff, stay away from it, while they were backing up the truck, while they were telling you to buy overvalued stocks. And most people will not get out of the stock market. They'll wait too long because of greed, and they're going to get absolutely annihilated. And of course, if the dollar goes, what are your stocks worth? But the banks played everybody. But if you paid attention, they gave you hints, but most people didn't pay attention. They suppressed prices for many, many years, and it allowed the smart people to back up the truck like they were doing and acquire this stuff very, very cheap. And I don't think it's going to ever get cheap again. California Democrats, massive homeless scam. Taxpayers robbed, blind in Golden State corruption. Another reason I had to get out of California, the corruption is unbelievable. Taxpayers just get ripped off from day to day in California. If it's the gas tax, now we're going to have the mileage tax. You got the mansion tax. They want to tax you if you leave California. Now we got the homeless scam. Federal investigators unveiled a multi-million-dollar fraud scheme tied to California's homeless housing initiative. Funds from California's Home Key program, fueled by billions of dollars in federal and state money, were diverted for personal gain, leaving homeless people on the street while insiders lined their pockets. And you, the taxpayer in California, me included, lose out again. No more for me. People, oh, shouldn't just leave. You should stay in California and fight the good fight. You have no rights. You have no ability to protect yourself in California. Taxes are through the roof. Gas is through the roof. If you want to stay and support California and fight the good fight, God bless you. You stay there. You pay the gas tax, the mansion tax, the homeless tax, property tax. You pay it all. You do it there. I'm gonna stay right here in Alabama, where people agree a lot more with me than the people in California. And there's a lot of good people in California, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot more like-minded people down here in the South, without a doubt. So you go ahead and stay in California, fight the good fight. I'm going to stay right here and support Alabama. And, to me, this is just voting with your wallet. I'm going to pay taxes here. I'm going to buy property here. Not California. Not California. Why would I support that state? And it's so corrupt that even if you vote, even if they vote for a good politician, it won't happen because of the corruption that just will not allow a good politician, and I would say a good politician on the right or the left, to come to power in California. They're going to keep, Newsom until he leaves, and then who knows who they're going to put in there. But your vote's not going to count. They couldn't even get rid of Newsom when everybody signed the recall. What do we have? 2 million signatures to recall him? He's still there. What does that tell you? Trump calls 157% China tariffs not sustainable ahead of planned Xi meeting in South Korea. Well, of course it's not sustainable because we depend so much on China. And we certainly depend on those rare earth minerals, those pharmaceuticals, those cheap products, those chips, you name it. China has way too much power now, and this administration is finding out that China is much, much more powerful than they first thought, and China's just not going to give in. And I think we're going to see big things in 2026 coming from China. Again, talking yesterday in a video I did, and the CEOs that went over to China, they were terrified with the type of technology that China has, the automation, the AI, what their factories can produce without human beings, the quality that they're producing vehicles and speed, it's unbelievable. And many of us said we just cannot compete. This is a country that literally 50 years ago, if you flew over, half the country didn't even have electricity, and look at them now. And it wasn't because they're so smart. It's because our politicians, our leaders sold us out, sent our jobs over there, sent our secrets over there, our tech, and China took it, copied it, ran with it, and now China is probably at some point going to rule the world, if they already don't, because they are not bowing down to America. And it's only a matter of time before they take Taiwan. It's a matter of time before the BRICS nations come to power with new currencies, gold as a world reserve currency, quite possibly. We're going to see big changes in the next 5 years, ladies and gentlemen, changes that we never thought humanly possible. So while the average person is drinking beer and watching football games, they have no idea what's coming. And the people who are not paying attention, they're the ones that are going to get blindsided here. They're the ones that will lose the most. They will be the pawns. Zelensky desperately pitches drones for Tomahawks at White House. So they want to trade us drones for Tomahawks. This guy Zelensky, I'm going to say this. This guy is not focused on peace. He is a war hawk. He wants this war to continue. He's getting wealthy. His friends are getting wealthy. I don't think he wants it to end, because if it does end, I don't think it's going to be good for him, and it certainly won't be good for business. But he's begging for Tomahawk missiles. And according to Trump says, I have to see if we are stocked up as a country. Mr. President, please just end this war. I mean, we've given enough weapons and drones and money to so many countries. You promised you would end this war. Why are we continuing to allow this war to persist? It's very disappointing. Very disappointing. And I'm going to call it the way I say it. This administration promised to end this war, and now we're talking about trading Tomahawk missiles for drones, but we just have to see how much we have in stock. Not good. Not good. Trump could end this war very, very quickly. Just cut them off. Cut the money off, cut the weapons off, cut it all off, and be done with it. Too many people are losing their lives on both sides of this, and very, very corrupt people are getting wealthy, and they are profiting off the loss of life of human beings. And it's really, really sad. And leave a comment down below. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm missing something here. But I see a lot. I know it was very trendy at one point to, wear the little yellow and blue flags and stickers and all that. I don't see that so much now. It doesn't seem to be as trendy anymore. Let me know your thoughts. Do you support this? I certainly don't. I can easily say I don't support this one bit at all. Again, leave a comment down below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for tuning in. Really do appreciate it. Beautiful day here. And I got the big boy over here just getting into trouble. God bless. Take care.